Good morning. And this song is actually almost done here. So I've actually had a pretty big client update. So since I went ahead and published this stuff, we're actually going to have to be merging master into our branch as there's each update, which is going to be a little bit annoying. And, oh, I got so distracted by the music, I forgot to turn starting off. This is why we have alarms. So I did the fetch on that one. So we are on, did something randomly the rather into. We are on, okay. Oh, this is all the generated files. Yeah, which is annoying. I wonder if my branch should ignore all these. I mean, the XZ probably. Build probably. XZ probably. I mean, any files. They're untracked files, so probably. Wait. He uses syntactic, huh? Interesting. So I'm torn as to whether some of these things should be included. Or I guess I don't know why they're not get ignored already. But that would confuse things on my branch. All right, so we're on this branch. So we have to merge JSON master. Oh, this is just the Vim. It's the Vim that they have in this embedded shell is, I don't know if it's stripped down for size or what. Yep, that's pretty much it. So I don't know. I mean, this should be a pretty regular update. Oh, and was it just make? Oh, it's CD game source. Now what I am going to have to do is they do this, yeah. Well, extractor 105. I don't think these are going to be version specific. But essentially, I think we need to do a rebuild on this, because it's a different version now. And then I have to remember which script that is. Make distribution windows. Build. Make distribution windows. Oh. I guess that's 107. Cannot stat base, no such directory. So does this have to be done in build? File exists, okay, fine. And this, if I recall, is a pretty long process. So there were changes to Living Life in the update. Get GUI, see if there's anything that might affect us. Okay. So there's our branching point, there's my stuff. Don't think that's going to affect us. It's a spreadsheet. Now here's the source files. Editor object, sprite bank. Really, Living Life is the only thing we've touched. Okay, and that was this one that touched that, which doesn't seem, I don't think affects us. All right, so I'm gonna want to test this Living Life before we get Living Life. But the thing I was thinking about is like, I definitely want an indicator that we're in auto-run mode. And this sort of modality is perhaps the reason why he doesn't have something like this. You've got to include the feedback, UI feedback for everything you add. Uh, So like the running state has to have a feedback. The fact that there are special things that can happen at the edge of the screen is going to be feedback, and that's going to be a pain because we're going to have to get into some kind of custom graphics. I'm thinking I might be able to either like use or modify the home marker arrows to get something that sort of stylistically matches. And now I have to remember it was mouse down, and especially mouse down frames. So that's where we actually increment that. Yes, there's multiple places we do this, and it's all related to the autorun system. So I'd like to set it up. Where are you? Are you in the click handler? No, you're in step. I guess that makes some degree of sense. So I'd like to have one detection point for... Well, it's not necessarily for mouse held. Yeah, so the trigger condition for this is weird. I think this must happen in like object reach destination. Or at least object moving in one form or another. Because that's when it only issues a new move command when you've kind of reached the end. Still anim stuff. Something writable. Yeah, okay. Update positions for all moving objects. Just anim fade. Held anim. Path to dest. So we're following a path. Last segment. Don't circle it forever. How's the build going? Yeah, I don't know. Well, I think I can do this and then go ahead and make this wide enough to get our width since we're not doing the split browser currently. Frame factor, spent twice my time as we should. Maybe circling, go directly there instead. Less moving substantially. Current path step less than path length minus 2. Add new anim. Path length minus 2. So this is like we're at the end of our path. I think this is, yeah, this is Yep. Current path step less than path length minus 2. Or, and yeah, then here's some of this where I'm doing this detection. So I may have to set this up. So yeah, you know what? It'd actually make a little bit more sense if I triggered this when we were clicking in the edge than if we were at the edge when we hit an auto run reset. Although his condition is mouse held down, like actually held down. Ew. We can't necessarily detect that separately. And that's just mouse down. But this is saying, clicking on nothing, allowed continued movement right away. If they start by clicking on something, make sure they are really holding the mouse down. So this is the held check, which is kind of what I wanted. Now this is, it was originally, oh, you know what? This is set up, this is set up, this is set up, this is set up, this is set up. Is there an alternate case that uses this stuff? No. He does some data setup. But then there's no reason to calculate this stuff before there. Oh, and here's the actually reached destinations. This is like near destination. Which I guess we want to trigger this before reaching the destination, so we can't reach the destination. So I don't know if I need to refactor, if, you know, it's just kind of refactor for the sake of refactoring at this point. I do for my own use anyway. All right. And I think I want to have a separate window just to sit here in my output directory. I wonder if it would work. Yeah, I don't know if it's going to use current directory or binary directory. Anyway, let's see. Oh, I need to. We rebuilt this, so I have to go tweak all the settings again. Auto login will work once we get it set up. Custom server address, my laptop, port, full screen 0, just so we don't get as much flashing, well, especially we don't get as much flashing in the stream. Hopefully those don't matter. Use custom server 1. All right, so I need to run this once. a@b.com, blah, 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 blah. All right, oh, the bodies are gone, but we still have the branches here. Okay. And now we should be able to do settings, auto login 1. All right, so it still runs. I guess we should double check our mods. All right. And it'll work better in full screen mode when you've actually got a screen edge there. So that works, and then if we're going here, yeah, we're auto running. Okay. Actually, there are a few of the other bodies around. Which might mean that I'm not going to get some of the new content, but I'm not doing that for content. Worry about resetting the data later if we need to. So the main thing I want to do is I want to get, so this mouse down frames, it gets used here, it gets used. Oh, this is an OR, and he's checking it again down here. That's a reset. Oh no, it was something else. Wait, continuous movement mode. There's a separate continuous movement mode? On pointer down. Oh. Oh, so the click down handler is actually doing some special handling for this. Okay. There's probably enough other stuff going on that we couldn't just excise this function, or as a function. Or they mouse over a blocked spot by accident. I don't see an early return, so I don't really know if we can excise that. All right. Treat epsilon final click. Oh, and I need to find. I forget what the flag was. There was something that I was able to replace with mouse down, and it kind of turned it into the draw the dotted lines. It has something to do with paths. Maybe update move speed. No. Print path. No, not a variable. Path to. I mean, that's. Well, it's probably going to involve that. Update move speed. Compute path to dest. Use waypoint. I don't think so. I don't think it's going to deal with drawing it. Oh, should draw path marks. There we go. So this one is where I would want to use the autorun flag. Is our default should draw. And this is completely different to me. All right, so mouse down frames plus plus. If it's held down long enough, then we want to trigger auto run mode. Char autorun equals false. So, since we just did this, We need this check. And technically, we only need to do this if mouse is down. Set. I keep forgetting what these things are. Shift width equals 4? No. No. Soft tab stop. Okay. If mouse down frames, then auto run equals true. Then we can do auto run. And you need braces. If mouse already down, mouse down frames equals 0. Frame rate factor. No, this is just going to be auto run, because if that was mouse already down. An R live object in motion, treat as one final click. The ands here seem weird to me. Oh, no, this is just if auto run. So if we get a mouse up, then treat it as one. So if we get a mouse up, which is going to come from a different click. Wait, if we were auto running for whatever reason, and we click, we want to issue that up, and then auto run equals false. Now there's something else. Oh, because that only happens when you reach destination. So if you stop moving, you have reached your destination. Yeah, that could be a separate thing to try and fix. Mouse down frames. Right, so I can't just make that a local variable because you do have to remember that over multiple times. And then we can show path to dest. It was should show. You know what? I actually kind of want to do that as a little separate step. So anyway, switch to build. CD game source make. And I have to work out this line. which is copy onelife.exe to build Windows OneLife 107. Yep, we're gonna Unix shell. All right, so this is all about autorun mode. All right, so that still works. Does hold still work? Okay. And then we've still got this little issue that when you reach your destination, you stop. But so far, nothing seems to be broken. Oh, we are getting some of the new stuff. So it's a wild squash, apparently. All right, so that is going to be... I probably could use the other window for this now. Get diff. No, actually, why would he have generated that? I don't know. Looks like I may have generated some empty spaces there that I didn't want. Turn on autorun, have an autorun flag. All of these things are referring to the feature they're talking about rather than the state of the input device used to generate it. Oh, and I might want to make it a separate step to deal with last screen edge. And, oh, this should at least be, yeah, because it doesn't do anything unless it's an actual autorun. Well, no, this is mouse down or this triggers the initial setup. So I really want to move this check. Well, we already have the mouse down auto run. So this should actually turn into auto run. And actually, this is an auto run trigger, so probably make. Probably I want to move that into some of the pointer stuff. Yeah, because that would I really want to trigger that if you click over there. Now, I guess being able to, I guess to a certain extent, if you start running and then push the screen, it makes sense. But that was kind of the original intent, was if you click at the edge of the screen, it triggers you. All right, so that is that, and then we also have mouse down. Okay. And then this. Well, you know what? This thing keeps triggering pointer down events. So if you happen to, well, if this triggers it, yeah. If you trigger a auto run event, the edge it will turn it into another. Okay. So pointer down. Get last mouse screen pause. Oh, is this where? Yeah, down here is where we actually calculate this thing. Last mouse edge. Ah, forgot what I called it. These functions are so huge. Oh. Okay, fine. What did I call it? Last screen edge. Oh, and that is actually, yeah, the end of that. So actually, do I then need... Oh, yeah, we do need that for the scroll, because that then happens in step. Interestingly, we've already got a condition here that is essentially this. I don't think... Yeah, this is detecting, and if it happens to be 0, it happens to be 0. But this is... Oh, this is not itself... Well, if we're in screen edge, auto run... No, we want this to be... Oh, no, 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 no. This is mouse move to detect we're there. We need pointer down for a click. So early on, detecting that. This sets mouse down frames. This is resetting that. I don't know if there's going to be... Oh. This is an area where we're talking about this. So if we have a click on the edge of the screen, we trigger autorun. And then we can actually take this out of here. So that it's just, if it's us and we're auto-running, do this. All right, so we're here. So we have, the first case is, does click over here result in an auto-run? Ooh. Okay, it does not. And pushing the screen does not result in an auto-run. Oh, I'm attaching that in the mouse down, and the mouse up cancels autorun. Because it kinda needs to? Well, for the mouse hold, it definitely needs to. Mmm. Well, you could get into some weird edge situations with what if you have some mixed trigger conditions? So I want the mouse down at the edge of the screen to be the trigger for autorun. But if we stop holding the button, but if we do mouse hold, we need releasing the hold to release autorun. So clicked on edge of screen is more of a pure flag. Though I need to keep that as a separate flag from mouse down. But then I'd always be checking mouse down or autorun. At which point you're almost back to having everything checked for is mouse held. Or if we flip the autorun flag by starting to run initially. So there's two things that deal with autorun. I like that we could have that reduced to a thing. But I might need a separate flag for like clicked on screen. Well, I still have to exit that mode somewhere. And a mouse up would do it. Ugh. Do I have to go back to if edge of screen at reissue time? How would... So we've got two gestures. Maybe it needs two pieces of state. Although one of them is sort of implicit in mouse held. We have trigger auto run if you click and release at the edge of the screen, which has to be remembered independently of anything else, because that's a thing that happened. And you've got mouse button currently held, which I didn't like having the frame rate checks, but it just kind of comes down to is mouse held? Mouse down frames. Min mouse down frames divided by frame rate factor. So I could reduce something, still turn it into a single check for, mouse held. But then we would have to have like, edge auto run as a flag that gets set in that specific scenario. Well, how'd you turn off edge auto run then? How would you turn off edge auto run even then? Because a click would normally be the thing. You're issuing pointer downs, fake pointer downs, as you run. So you can't use click down detection. And this is why I stopped at this point the other day, because it's... So click there triggers it. I don't think... Well, no. If RID and autorun... Oh, we would have to say if RID... It would have to find out all cases where we came to end of path and stopped moving. Well, is that... No, this is still running. This is near end. Reissue. Reach destination. Simply stop walking. Reach dest. Reach destination. I wonder if this was some debugging path stuff. Oh, you have to like leave the trail behind so you could see how you ran. Next message to send. Holding ID. Not equal to RID and... Oh, this is any object reached destination. Simply stop walking. I don't know what the ground 2 is about. Structurally phased, thank you for the host. Reach destination. If OID because effectively it stops anyway. But this is going to have to be if we separate the flag. Because we still have to detect the mouse held. Well, That's really just centralizing detection of mouse held so that the determination of that is in one place. But we kind of need and edge autorun as two separate things. So if this is mouse held, and we're back to sort of mentioning that in a couple of places. Unless we sort of combine the booleans somewhere. This is, yeah, so now we're back to mouse held or edge autorun. Mouse held or edge autorun. Wait. Oh, yeah, because there are two potential triggers here. Yes, this is turning off edge autorun. I mean, mouse could still be held, just won't do anything. But that's one way we would turn that off. So this is edge autorun, because we're in a click handler. And this is this, however, is in mouse held or edge autorun. Yeah, I'm saying the same thing over and over again. So this is the, because now we can say mouse held. Does a final click without affecting the other flag. But the other flag only gets turned off when we reach destination. There is no click to cancel. All right, so we've got mouse held run, which still works. We've got run and push the screen, which doesn't do anything. We've got click on the edge of the screen, which triggers autorun, and it stops if we catch up. And it's not still, okay, it's not still going. We've got edge autorun where I click somewhere. Yeah, that does. So the only way is to catch yourself. And the game is not really able to distinguish fake clicks from real clicks that I can tell. But if we click here, there's going to be well, we know if a mouse up was from a hold or not. Maybe I should change my server settings. But what if you held on the edge and released? That would look like you were releasing from a hold. Well, you know, if you did a hold and release, that we could probably count that as it was a hold versus a click on the edge. So pointer up. Oh, I know already. If mouse held and in motion, one final click. Would this be an else? How does he format else's? Next line. If mouse is not held and we had a pointer up. Well, this is an else. No, I think it's an unconditional. Edge autorun equals false. So my concern was if we did a pointer hold, but once we get to mouse held, well, we're going to do a pointer down. But we've already lost our pointer up event. All right, so regular mouse hold. Ooh. I guess I just caught up with it. Click on edge of screen. Ooh. Completely broken. What if we hold on the edge of the screen? Exactly backwards. Which, I mean, I guess holding for a few seconds wouldn't be so bad. Oh, so our initial click is not mouse held. What do we want? We want a click where the mouse is not held. No, to not cancel it. No, but then we need a click where we are doing something to stop it. All right. I want to take a break, and it's probably going to tell you to get up and move around whenever you're stuck anyway. So I'll be back in a few minutes. Where is Hedwin's specific thing? Why is it not in my inventory? Oops, wrong button. There it is.
participated in doing carrot farms so far tonight, and a big part of that has been that this game's really goddamn overwhelming, and I just didn't know what I was doing. But there's a lot of...
Where'd you go? Baby! It doesn't get far without a tit. Right? Don't know if it was hungry or scared. Ooh. Somehow I found I was able to wrap my hair up real quick. I already died by snake, but okay, let's go before another kid pops out. I don't want to disappoint them.
Many viewers, may as well just start the game. So, as you probably know, Oxygen Not Included has created an...
It's too unlikely. So we're using our Gurya. It gives us increased strength. Oh, frick you, game! I hate you so much! Oh well.
There you go, you got hair, get out of here. It's all on you now. Save the world, Bianca. You too. Pop. 4, too big. God dang it. Ah, my baby. That's so fucking sad. All I can do is laugh. That is so freaking sad.
So I want to like alt right click that edge.
Ew, well that needs more testing. Oh no, it's probably... Well, that still shouldn't have changed it, but... Maybe I messed something up there. Anywho. So that, I need to make a note to deal with that. Blank when excluding from history. All right. You know, even though, let me real quick see if I can change hunger factor. It's a little bit complicated because it's a Docker. Build context, source. Server settings. Min food decrement seconds. Max food decrement seconds. So what is the context this is running in? So this is going to be in settings. context, source. Life. Server. Let's just 10 times this. No, no. That's echo and a cat. Alright, so that give us there. And so that's max. And you get called in the server Docker file, so I'm going to have to rebuild. All right. Sorry about that. I just wanted to see if we can avoid having to deal with the hunger problems while we're just testing interface issues here. Oh. I wonder if it took that long to update because of that. I don't know. Anyway, we want to be able to click on the edge. And then if we are auto running, yeah, so if we were able to detect actual player clicks as distinct from the fake clicks, then it would be very easy to say click cancels. But every time you click over here, there's going to be a pointer event. And it used to be that since the auto run flag was essentially the mouse down flag, and you keep clicking, you keep getting mouse down, there's been no matching mouse up. So actually, well, if I ever release this, there's going to be a matching mouse up, so that takes care of that flag. So that food chain seems to have been unreasonably effective. Anyway. Do we do anything to indicate this is fake. There's a use waypoint, there's a max waypoint path length. Those are object things. If waypoint itself may be blocked, try again with no waypoint at all. But we do try again without the waypoint, which is a general object feature. Is last mouse button right? Mod click. So I could use right click to cancel. There is something here if it's autorun. Pushing out click dash. I don't think that changes whether it counts as a click on the location. This is a set down action, show click reaction. Click test. Check for possible kill attempt at distance. Yeah, it's like, I don't know if I want to auto run to be doing possible kills. No, wait a minute. If we're doing click, well, we have to get it to the point where it issues a fake click, at which point it's going to start looking like a pointer held event anyway. Yeah, I'm not sure. In order to disentangle this, I would need to have a new method that is like, actual player interface action click. That calls a, action at thing. And then does our one cancel auto run. then everything else that's doing fake clicks would not go through there. But that becomes more of a disruptive change, I guess? Because essentially you excise this entire function. Have a one-step thing. I mean, that would allow you to issue, fake clicks. You could also maybe do the button held checking there, so that it gets separated out. But I was really hoping not to have to do anything substantial like that. Pointer up, pointer. How would you detect a click at the edge initiates autorun? Anything that the autorun sets is going to look like another click. And you're going to get a pointer up as part of your initial click. You know what? Technically, we're going to end up looking like mouse held. Which is the kind of entanglement I was trying to avoid. But as soon as we trigger auto run, well, assuming you actually initiate an auto run event, so if we trigger an auto run event, okay, we're going. It's entanglement, but it's a little bit more explicit that a mouse up is doing that. Although it looks like a mouse held event is doing it in the code. Reuse of pointer down in autorun makes it look like button is held. So we don't actually detect mouse held, separate from the faking. And this is designed to preempt mouse down. Now this, pointer down just sets it, yeah. So that's not really all that different from what we had. We have some, well, and I'm back to this situation where it's like mouse held or autorun. And we end up implicating mouse held in autorun anyway. then we got all these ors at every single step. But getting rid of that basically means having a variable just to save that. Well, it's more about condensation of. Well, but then I have to remember. Well, that would be more of a step thing, I guess. And then would it matter? Edge autorun equals true. This is pointer down. Moused over a blocked spot by accident. So this is me detecting the situation. This is more of a mouse-held situation, but we're going to be, yeah. So this one wouldn't be as important to redo right away. Thanks, Windows. You see, I don't like... kind of don't like having this extra variables here, but I kind of don't like repeating myself all over the place about why we would be auto-running. Ah. Alright, so we immediately turn it off. We're only going to hit our own object once, so that's fine. It's an OR, so that's kind of fine. That's going to effectively reset it, but I don't think it'll matter right away. That might matter right away. And then it's step. Mouse down, frames. Just kind of around here. Equals mouse held or edge auto run. And actually, how often do I use this? It's there, it's there, it's there. Those are all basically the same. Wait. We only get in here if we're auto running. So this doesn't matter. And that means that since this cannot enter here on the OR case, this doesn't matter because it's implicitly true. At which point, we're not repeating ourselves. So this can be mouse held or autorun. And that means we have to repeat it twice. This isn't as bad. Oh, and now it's going to, edge autorun. But that's a bit more tolerable than having it 3 times all down here. All right, so mouse hold, still auto runs. Click does not. Click on edge. Goes until we catch ourselves. Or until we click. So we still had to be we're still kind of using the implicit mouse down to detect when we had a click elsewhere. The other thing we lost is that you can't start walking and then push the screen. But that actually kind of makes it a little bit harder to do it accidentally. Now, your character is still going to be here, so it's probably going to be somewhat easy. Well, maybe not. To trigger it off over there. But that's where we get to adding feedback for that. All right. So we might actually have something we can live with here. I don't see how much junk we left lying around. That also reduces how often we check mouse held. And it might be actually about as often. I mean, I like distributing that logic even less. So 1, 2, 3. Refactor auto run. State tracking. So now, should draw just path marks. Oh. Well, you know what? I was thinking of doing this for all auto-run cases. But since this is more of an automatic state, mouse button you hold, you're holding down the mouse button. So that might not actually be so bad. So we hold down the button, and it's like normal. Although that this could count as edge clicks. Oh, as soon as I've released the button, and then if we're in like auto run mode, then we get this as an indicator that that has happened. Okay. Oh, this is the thing about the code that like says if it's too close, project it out a little bit. Okay. So I just did that separately because that is like a visible UI change that, you know, somebody might want to easily exclude. And all these files. Show dotted path when edge auto run is active. All right, and now for the hard one. That's to run it. Game source. So we've got graphics. We've got graphics source. Actually, we've got some other arrows here. I don't know if his engine does rotations. Not in here. Let's start with, well, that could even be a minor gems thing. But in here, I think I saw, yeah, home arrows. Draw sprite, arrow index. Home arrow states. Ah, okay, so it's the erased. And actually, is this something that's likely to be transparent? Really? I mean, GIMP would probably open it, but... Oh, no, actually there's an erased. So how do we determine this direction? Get home dir. Home position. This is based on grid positions. Vector sub. Ah, angle. All right, so basically it is specifically using, so I'd have to duplicate some of this code for a general angle to vector, or angle to arrow index. All right, well, so step one, let's see if we can figure out, check for pointer hit. This might be like an engine thing. Where does he reference? Because there's a big pointer. And this is searching everything. Make file list, change log. Is this going to be a minor gems thing? Trying to load pointer from graphics, big pointer. Cursor image. Yeah. Okay, let's get height, cursor image, get channel. Wait. We're done with it. Image, cursor image. What do we do with cursor image? Get channel, get channel. Data mask, R cursor, STL set cursor. Oh, this is an STL thing. Ew. Well, I should be able to get the pointer position and just draw some extra stuff. But they do have the data mask. Stuff getting from alpha channel. There? That's better. Living life. Draw chalk background string. Draw map cell. What do you get called? I'm not really sure where this kind of UI would be drawn. Well, actually, the home arrow are going to be kind of top layer-ish. Skip GUI. Note paper. Pointer should probably go on top. Current note. Tab messages. Erased note. Hunger slip. Info panel. Old arrows. Wait, is this now doing home arrow stuff? Oh, this is the heat arrows. eating. Bug message. All right. And done. I'll probably be below bug message. Des strings. Okay, yes, this is the text description. So we want to be around 6,500. And not home arrow states dot solid. Num home arrows. Oh, this is the fade. Set draw color, draw sprite. Multiplicative blend. That's probably fine for drawing on paper. Uh, 6,500 go. And let's just do a 0 for proof of concept. Arrow pause is a double pair. What do we have for pointer? Do we keep? Well, we're drawing at world coordinates. Last mouse X, last mouse Y. Yep, that's not what we wanted. Okay. So that's drawing at the pointer, all right. There's like a little bit of lag for the pointer event to get there and get to draw. Which is I guess that maybe that's why SDL has like a extra special cursor thing, because it can track better. But it'll kind of work for doing this. And we could maybe play around with the blend mode, see if any of them actually make sense to get rid of the white for us. So, multiplicative blend, additive texture coloring. That's for the faded stuff. Oh. Okay, it's a little bit faint. But as a simple way to get an arrow without having to actually edit any graphics. Something about, oh, yeah, when we're dealing with these things. Get home dir. So we have angle vector. In current player position. Well, this is just going to be my screen edge dir. So we could cheese this. Oh. Looks like Restream got connected at some point. Or disconnected. No dropped frames. That was a little bit too low. So this is going to be like if last screen edge dot x not equal to 0 and last screen edge dot y not equal to 0. Oh, he has a different style. Then we do all this. There's probably an option, a Vim option I can set for that. Last screen edge index, index, index. Okay, yeah, it kind of shows up how it interacts with this thing a little bit. So, I mean, you could maybe... the diagonal's a little bit better at going this way. And that tells you when you're going to trigger autorun. Or you're going to trigger look mode. So, I mean, for a cheap little... I mean, I was thinking I might have to add a transparent version of this. And there might... Actually, if I poked around the code, there might even be a version of this that is more of a transparency detection. I mean, for the notepaper stuff, the multicolored blend probably works just fine. We can poke around some of the drawing code. Would it be a toggle? Variance. There's an additive blend for drawing the squares. Light and ground overlay. Additive texture coloring. Actually, I have a feeling I know what additive blend is going to do. But let's try it out. I have a feeling it's going to make a whole bunch of white square with nothing at the arrow. Yeah. So you could make a white arrow really with the right graphic. So we kind of have to get to, well, you know what, we're almost at the bottom of this method. So what kind of drawing operations do we have? We have draw message. We have draw color. Might be able to tint things a little bit. And the ground is going to be pretty much all solid rendering. Additive texture coloring. Multiplicative blend, additive blend. Light and ground overlay. Set color. Oh, you know what? The regular game sprites probably have alpha baked into them. And the arrows, for whatever reason, do not. I mean, the transparency is fine. I just wonder if we got something a little bit better. Now, is pathmark an actual thing, or is that like... There's a line segment which is actually looking transparent. That one didn't actually come through Restream. And so far, there's no signs of other common graphics operations. Although we've still got like 2,000 lines to look at. It's a big drawing method. And we're probably not, well, moving objects. This is probably just alpha in the... Yeah, restream has issues. Okay. Nothing there. Cell drawn map. Move the queue in order drawing. Draw a live object. Chalk background string. Let's bring me a faded type thing. That's map poll. Special teaser video stuff. I think the arrow is actually a transparent graphic from what I've seen. Is this still map poll mode? Okay, there's the additive blend. There's the arrows we were looking at before. Yeah, that seems to be about all the tricks in the graphics system, at least that he's using in this game. I have to do a deeper dive into it to figure out other things. And at that point, you're almost like, just, go in, make a transparent version of the graphic. Well, we got a pretty good solution for that. With just multiplicative blend. Additive texture coloring. Well, those are arrows. Well, if it's coloring, I don't know how that's going to work out. Wait, was that 65? Yeah, it's 55. Okay, here we go. Yep, no, you need to be false. Ooh, yeah, it's a little too additive. Probably requires very specific textures. All right. Do I want? I want to extract the angle method. This looks like a pretty generic function defined elsewhere. Get home, not location. Get home dir. Okay, this is a static int. A little helper function in this file. Does this have any arguments? This is a current direction. Static int, get arrow dir from vector. Da, 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 da. And then it is, if we get to here, it is return get arrow dir from vector. Index equals lint. Int index equals get last screen edge. Uh-oh. It's not declared in this scope. Get home dir. Oh, is it a static member of the class, not a static function? Oh? Does source order matter? I guess source order matters. All right, we got back to here. We've got an indicator that we're in push mode. We can auto run, we can stop. Get status, get diff. Ooh. Well, some of this is kind of me copying code. But I would not normally have that space. And did I? Yep. Brackets are done that way. First line is there. Make double sure we haven't broken anything. Draw arrows when pointer is in screen edge area. Oh, and approximately there is when I would be able to use that as a reference for when things were working. All right, those are. I mean, it may come to pass that something else will bug me at some point, but those are the main things I wanted to accomplish there. So probably I'm going to take a short break and then do a topic change. Yeah, so I got a couple of, yeah. Unfortunately, I don't know that I have anything else that's especially C-like. So it's probably going to be back to like some hostable maintenance and maybe playing around with CSV, drag and drop, and things like that. All right, back in a few minutes.
I'm gonna cover your hole with the rover. Oh yeah, there's rocks.
Okay,
Coming
I
in.
should be good.
Okay.
Oh, okay, you covered the hole with the rover, all right.
You're welcome.
Oh, we got something else going on here. Is that just a blank clip? Maybe.
Do exactly as she says. Milton, oh my god. Oh my god. Wow, thank you so much, Milton. Oh my god. I'm like awestruck. What? Wow, guys, if you don't know Milton Peak, so I'm flabbergasted, so sorry.
All right, so are we? Oh, we're out of a. I found a way to fix it. And this would probably be a good thing to mark down for possible future highlight.
Wow. Do you guys even have the habitat made?
Oh my gosh, we're invincible. Oh nope. Okay, it just took a little. Just took a few seconds to die.
Uh-oh. I saw the X, like your player model. I just saw, or I saw the little player sign turn into an X, and I was just like, oops.
Yeah, fortunately, I was able to reach some aluminum and make some dynamite to get us unstuck.
Okay, I'm back. I got some food though, so I'm gonna be playing while I eat. If anybody died while I was gone, I'm gonna load it. Okay, I'm gonna mute myself for now.
Okay, there are these guys. Whoa!
Hey. Ow! Ow! And fight's almost over. Ow! Ow! Fight's over.
So I wanna like alt right click that edge. If I bring this up, how does that look? Oh, that's not what I wanted to do. Yeah, that's much softer. And then yeah, this back face actually, I'm glad I selected that. I need to move this down here.
Okay.
Like 15 was the right amount to get. I'll tell you that much. Oh my god! Oh my god! What the fuck? Oh my god! Oh, gotcha. Right. Fahrenheit. I live in a country that uses ye old Celsius. So I was like...
Many viewers.
Okay, oh, well, that was an odd transition. Okay, fine. Alright, so let's get this stuff cleaned up. Actually, I did another build here. Copy that up. And I'll grab it over for my regular client later. Although I may have to see if there's like updates that we need to deal with or anything. Alright, so actually Hostable ends up running off the one that I usually... No, it's not Hostable, it is Hosting Clips. Hosting Clips. So we need Hosting Clips. I'm going to need a thing to run compilation. What? Did I... Weird. Weird. Okay, master. So the things we wanted to do... Oh, I put some of this on the wrong... Yeah, I put some of this on the wrong project. So what? Why was this? Oh, that was for that. Okay, so let's just pull these out of subtasks. All right, so the things we want out of here, got that. So now we can go to public. Fine, we'll do that. Yeah, actually, this comes up with not a user. And we've probably got a set of arguments here that are reasonable for our purposes. I'm actually going to have to show that for later for it to make sense. Lizzie Live, thank you for the host. Edit with Vim. Alright, so now we go blup, blup. Let me see compilation status. So the thing I want to do... Well, I want to adjust the self-clip rate. I might even just make that a parameter. Self-clip count. Oh, that's the number to fetch. Self-clip. Choice. Update duration choice. No. This is going to be pick. Oh, and this is a Boolean. So we need the generator that does this. Random.0 to list.length. Right, random int 0. So could we do this as, we have to make it a float if we're doing any kind of multiple. Although I could parse it as an integer. Yeah, no, we want to be able to potentially go both ways. But if we're doing that kind of thing, it's going to have to be a float. So this would be I less than 1? Would it be kind of the equivalent of that? Oh, package. No, random is in core. Int is a range. Float is also a range. Okay. 0 is probably fine. List.length is going to need a 2 float. And it did accept the I less than 1. Then I think what we want as kind of a long-term configurability is we find... Oh, this is going to have to be a variable. So we've got location, we've got height and width, time, login user ID, show clip, host limit. Maybe we can do host limit by hosts. Well, this is actually isn't... Well, if we call it self rate, then I can just invert the multiplication. Show clip. Self rate. Self rate. Extract argument. Self rate. Self rate equals. Maybe dot with a default 1 of, no. Maybe dot with default 1 self rate. No, not float. Okay, well, there was 2 of them down here. List dot length. So if we call this the self rate, then we would actually want to divide this by so if we do self rate 2, it divides that list, making it twice as likely. Yeah, it seems somewhat reasonable. All right, so now let's see if maybe we can inspect this. Oh, this is just going to give me a Boolean, not the actual rate. Well, this still lets me look at it without actually showing the clips. Bug.log. Oh, and this is, we're not actually showing clips. No clip cycle time. This is probably using real times. Oh, and I have a query string regenerator that's going to need to do this. Oh. Well, if model dot self rate not equal to then self rate equals toString model dot. So that's the wrong way. Pixelogic Dev, thank you for the host. All right. Uh-oh. Haven't been watching my compiler. Init. It thinks, oh, yeah. Yep. So you might exist. So this is going to be a... Yeah, this is going to be more like host limit. M self rate. Maybe dot map string to float with default. Oh, because string is a result. Sting. Okay, compiled. Console. So right now we're going to have 2 hosts with not a whole lot of stuff. Oh, and I was looking for how we did subscriptions. Maybe that with default case model dot thanks duration. So it would essentially be time dot every okay, false, true. Wait, is this self clip? Yeah, unless I got it backwards. If true, self clip. This returned false a couple of times. Oh, so this is actually something just broken. How? How you do this? So this is going to be a factor in it, because it can short circuit there. Other 0. Wait, is that backwards? I can't even know what my random number is. Okay, so 2, I mean, that's very reasonable. Well, actually, the numbers came out even worse this time, but that's still... should be getting us more falses than that. Pick. Random.map 2. Alright, float 0. Oh, this is model.hosts. But I should still be 0 to 2. Unless model.selfraise, I should be becoming 0 somewhere. Actually, I can just do bug.log. That might actually work. Oh, okay, infinity, yeah, okay. But I have to handle infinity now. Those are all very small numbers. Okay. What the heck? $12. Maybe random float does something different than I expected in a given range. Following example is a 0 to 1. Alright, we need to set up U and then extend this to U. So we see what the 2 float is doing. Okay, that's still 12. Oh, I wonder if the argument order for division is backwards. Unmodified. So random float (0 to 12). And we get numbers that feel like it is Between 0 and 1/12? So can we do this as, and see if that is in fact what's happening? That is exceedingly unexpected. Oh man, where is, well, that we've got, I can't get to it easily because I've excluded the stuff folder. Give it range. So, oh. This is actually Elm code. Generator seed, low, high. If A less than B, then A, B, else B, A. Number new seed, step. Int, min, int, max int. -1 to 1. To float number. Divided by the range. -1 to 1. All right, so I might... no, I might not as well be generating ints, but... low plus high divided by 2 plus high minus low times -1 to 1. So how does that work out? I pass in, 0, 12. So we do 12 divided by 2. So halfway. Okay, yeah. Plus 12 minus 0. That seems perfectly fine. Twelve divided by 2 is 6. If it's really -1 to 1, that's also 12. So that could be... actually, that's -1 to 1 times 12 in either direction? So I could definitely see that going outside of the expected range. But I can't see how it's getting inverted. Well, what we can do is LE you can import. Ooh. How can you run generators in a test environment, though? Step manually. Initial seed. Generator run as specified by a given generator. And I really don't care. Well, I guess you should care. I think there's some packages that do fuzz testing. Filtering for strings. Extra expectations. So this is based on Elm test. Fuzzy string matching. So we would have to use Elm test. This is just Elm test extra. So match pattern, member, test.extra, decode, describe decoder, test decoder. Combine two fuzzers, generates among the provided values with the uniform distribution. Provided values. Wait, fuzz.constant extends fuzz. Oh, does Elm test already have a fuzzer which doesn't show up in search? Yeah, okay, I guess you have to do a capital. So this is a slightly more complicated interface, but it does have a fuzz module. They create values of A, it can create them randomly. It will never produce an infinity, any 32-bit integer. Now, we're going to want to use int range to say, above or below 0, because that will really tell us which way a random number should go. We'd actually, we would need float range to do the less than 1 ones. All right, so we need to work out how to do a Elm test. Elm test. Okay, so I guess how this goes is that it's installed, and then I have to work out. Oh, we need describe, wherever describe is. Actually, so I should update my topic. Elm. Trying to isolate bug in standard library. All right. So we need test, which one would presume is in test. Import test exposing test. Actually, what's in test? Test, describe. I mean, describe we're going to use easily. Test we're going to use a lot. The rest we could probably get away with. Test, describe. And I guess we would need the runner. Runner library or the browser. This would have to be a browser runner. HTML test runner. Actually, the other thing I should check. Or maybe it's all going to be under Evan. Elm? Okay. Oh, wait, this might be... When was our last commit here? 4 days ago? This might actually be, the 0.19 branch. Although that might mean that some of the updates... Okay, nope, it's a redirect. Or, I'm not sure if it's a redirect. Okay, yep, that's I'm on core. This is 18 days ago. Well, that should hopefully have a lot of the, Where do they do... They don't do issues here. Unless that's forked from Elm Core. Okay. And ranges are inclusive. Okay. For large ranges. Random.float inaccurate. Non-random distribution. It's range slightly lower than advertised. Negative value. already due to be replaced by PCG. Well, is this like actually like L random PCG? Got merged into core? Upgraded for 019. So code master. Can I get changelog for a file? Oh? Actually, random may have been removed from upstream. So then I would have to figure out where that happened. Which, yeah, I want something to actually search the repository for that. Okay. HTML test runner. Test.runner.html, run, test program, run test. Okay. So we need test runner. Oh, probably Elm community? Import test.runner.html. Main equals run. Run suite. Suite is a test. Suite is describe. Random bug. Test. High numbers always, or high. Excuse me? Yeah, there's not a red cursor on here. High range greater than 1 creates numbers less than 1. It's a test. They seem to do this style. This is the thing I didn't like about this library. You always have to do a function. Let equals, so this is expect dot equal. Oh. Okay, expect dot import expect floating point tolerance okay, so within not within is or do I just do these are well, these are comparable. Expect dot oh. I do have to see how fuzz testing works. Expect dot a high number I mean, maybe the number is just supposed to be a divisor, but it seems inconsistent with integer. And with the implementation, for that matter. Expect. So if we do a high number, we expect. Yeah, the thing is, we expect some. No. Well, I don't know what one would do as a. All right. How do we get numbers out of this? Oh, how do we do commands? Oh, we have to do this step. But we need a bunch of probabilistic weights. Sure. Float. So how do we run fuzz tests? To run a function several times. Oh, test is one of these. So we're pretty much going to always run a fuzz test. Takes a fuzzer and then a string. And then that's the argument. Okay. Oh, actually, I might be able to do this inline. This is test fuzz. And then you define the fuzzers. So float. Oh, float range. Import fuzz. Fuzz.float range. So for the high end, we probably want, I don't know, 2 to 10. And we get back, oh. No, yeah, we're going to want the run to test multiple times. Getting back the high value. And then we have to do some stuff with random. We're at step. Well, yeah, if the initial seed always generates a really low number, then it wouldn't be valid. So I actually need to have a seed. Which is a... They say that's an int. A fuzzer for int values. So then we need... Oh. If you're doing float range... I know this is random. We want... If you're doing float range... Does that actually work? Int range float. Random dot float. So I actually need to not use that in my test. So actually int range should be fine. I just have to do some conversion when I'm done. And then we need to random dot step. Oh, random might not be a default import. Expect less than pass if so they appear to be doing expected and actual. Well, no. Expect less than no, actually, this is supposed to be you know what? I do need a list. Collections. Wasn't there something about all? Expect dot all. So actually we need a list of fuzz. Highs. Expect dot all. Expect dot. No, this would be expect dot any. Oh. You have an all but not an any? Because some of these could be less than 0. Well, actually, if it's 2 to 10. Oh, it's only the high. Expect that at least to random dot step. Random dot. Oh, this is a map. Highs. List dot map. Oh. No, yeah, break that out. List dot map. This is much harder to test than I thought it was going to be. So, well, Fuzzer does generate a bunch of floats under the hood. It's using the system random. So we literally just do, and we don't need a seed. Float range. It's still a map though. List dot map to high expect dot at least 2. Actually, we can do this. Run sweet. They're gonna be lots of missing stuff. Line 18. Oh. There's that function. Our test suite list is currently rather bare. That find variable run. Oh. Test.runner.html. 18. Expect at least. All. Oh, this is not. I mean, I guess that streamlines things a little bit. Not how I expected it to work. Passes when applied to the subject. Oh. Well, this is already a fuzz test. We don't need a list. Whole point is that it generates a bunch of things. What the heck am I doing then? Well, I'm doing float range, so what if it's 0 to... High range greater than 1 creates numbers less than 1. Given 0.00001, expect at least... Yeah. Yeah. Well, no. This is not what we're... Well, here's what we do. We say if high... I don't... greater than 1, then else. Expect the comparison is at most, at least. Expect, all right, so if it's greater than 1, we expect at least 1. If it is less than 1, then we expect less than 1. Oh, no, this is not the high. This is the number. So this is x. But a 0 to 10... Yeah, because we need to know what the... We need a probability distribution. All right, I wanted to check a bunch of different numbers. But I get back into the whole seed game if I start doing, have it pick numbers and then me... Well, I don't need to do a range. I could just do fuzz.int and, I mean really fuzz.int since that's safer. Seed high. Random dot step generator random dot float let x equal this actually another search returns a pair. Let x seed equal random dot float 0 high in if high greater than 0, then expect no. We actually have to set our ranges based on this in order to get consistent results, which might not actually work. I didn't actually try this on my other numbers. Expect dot at least 1x. Else, if high, oh, if this is an integer, oh, and what does it do with negatives? Man, it's like I need something like this to prove that it's going on. And yet I have ample evidence that it's borked. Random dot float seems to be using second or well, and the code is so weird here. I guess this needed to be divided by 2 as well, but that still doesn't explain the, like, outright inversion. We pick max int min int. Number divided by the range. So if we had, oh, you don't just do a 0, 1. 0, 1 would be 0.5 plus 0.5, no, plus minus 1? Well, that would mean even float 0, 1 wouldn't work. What? Oh, there's an error here. Okay, so you're in the wrong place. So it must not be 1 to negative 1. It must be negative 0.5 to 0.5? Which still wouldn't explain the inversion I'm seeing. Because if we do float 100, no, wait. So is my division backwards or something? Because I went this out, I ran this out and it looked good. Oh. Hadn't compiled. Oh, right. Division is backwards. So it doesn't, not the kind of thing that you can easily apply in a chain like that. Mm. I said no point, no choice but to parenthesize. More parentheses, more. All right, so false, 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 false. True. Oh, wait. Has that effectively changed any code? List dot length. We made it a float instead of a integer. I wonder if it's a bootstrap problem or something when we're starting up and this, whereas this has been running for a while. Well, and anyway, at any rate, if we then take this and do let's do a big number for, oh, I took the actual numbers out. I did not expect it to be that big. False, false, false. So I mean, if there's 12, you'd expect about 6. Okay, so that lets us reduce it incrementally. Now we had added, oh, well. Okay, well, that's just a random blank comment. We had changed our subscriptions to cycle through things really fast. And when we got pick back, we were debugging that. All right, so, well, actually, the UR watching pretty much tells us what we need. Oh, I guess it's more poignant to do that. Oh no, this is self rate. We actually want, I normally want to do. The compass is gone. Normally want to do 0.5. So first one we expect, even more subdued than my volume got really loud for some reason. Oh, you can flip the rover at any time now. Neat. I guess in this situation that would be um all right, so well, this is something I might really just have to be watching in as we use it.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to slip a little nip there. Just put this iron down.
Yeah, 16.
I know unless you see how long that is, it's quite different.
But we'll keep an eye on that, I guess. We've got a new argument we can use to tweak things. That probably have to go in the README.
Obviously, it takes that length of time to get back to the person. Some people don't understand that happens.
Adjust. Tweak the amount the channel's own clips are shown.
I'm not quite sure.
Two is
but that's all right. I think
twice
for
as
this
much.
moment in time, let's go ahead commit this code.
0.5 is half, and so
we
on.
made some good progress.
Still
We want
always
to continue another live
relevant
there, or
to
we want to go and see what they're doing in the main server?
or not relevant, relative to
I'm in server.
number of hosts. The only thing is, there is no value of that.
Be doing this.
0 might.
I wouldn't be with my wife.
There's no
because
value that could
obviously
make it all
wouldn't
your own
trust her.
clips, I guess. But it's hosting
I'm
clips,
fucking
so.
panic now. It's cool. It's all cool. Oh shit! Oh, no.
All right, I have completely borked this window somehow.
See you in a minute, dude. See you in a minute.
Add parameter to tweak self clip rate. And I don't know, I guess maybe just subjectively it felt like I was getting too many at times. Maybe that was before I did the number of hosts thing, but yeah, that's really there as more of a backup than a primary. All right. Oh, and we're actually not debugging this thing anymore. It seems to have been removed from Elm. And it's really hurting me to figure out how to test it. All right, so next up. Oh, actually, is there a next up? Oh, there is not a next up. I'm gonna need to. Well.
Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
Yep.
Yeah, man.
And I need to test that. I should have waited and So when we did, this is just my dev thing. So if we did that.
But I like. I'm the kind of person.
Nope,
who likes the
there must have been a
max out
blank clip in
stats.
there. Or there's an issue in the embedded Chrome thing.
I must not assigned that one before, unless I messed
All
it
right.
up.
What was my list of stuff to do? Stuff to do. All right. Adjustable self rate. That seems to have not been an issue. And the other stuff is going to be bigger projects. All right. So, yeah. I unfortunately have somewhere to get this afternoon. So that is going to be all for me for today. Let's go ahead and just shut this down so it's not going. Get that off for next time. This is roughly when I tend to stream. Times are US Central. Hopefully you can extrapolate from the red line for your local time zone. All right, so we got hostable up there. See if I can make any recommendations while I'm away. And if I get back early enough, I might can try to do a little bit of stuff. Do we have any other? Okay. Yeah. Looks like Emerald is playing Slime Ranchers. I probably need to check out the weekend things every once in a while. And okay, that is muted. Looks like he's probably starting up for a short stream right about now. And he's somebody that I've enjoyed watching in the past. Hopefully you'll enjoy him too. So looking for some place to hang out. That's some place to hang out. Thanks for hanging out with me. Bye-bye, and maybe next time.